All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm not exactly sure what had just happened. I think it just cut off on me. Um, s- um, so we will work through that later. But we are. Let's see. I was in the middle of talking about the Carolina Panthers. So, um, Justin Fields is really going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. And it's like what I was saying. Um, I think that it's gonna be interesting. And I think that Justin Fields has done a good job. And it's gonna I think it's gonna be one great season, but it'll it'll come down to Sam Darnold's gonna be the starting quarterback, and then Justin Fields will be the Justin Fields will sit there and wait for a little bit. And so that is what I think is going to happen. So I want to go through my mock draft. I've got about 17 minutes before the draft really gets started. So, um, let me just pull that up for a second just so that I can remember. But as most people have, I've got Trevor Lawrence going number 1 in the draft. It is not a shocker to anybody because he's been locked to be the number 1 pick. And I don't argue with them because he has been the best quarterback. And if you look at his career at Clemson, he's only lost I believe it's 2 games at Clemson, 2 or 3 games. So he's had a great career already. He had a great college career, so I think that it'll be good. Number 2 to the New York Jets, I've got Zach Wilson, and that is not a shocking move either. And I think Zach Wilson is a really great quarterback. He's got a great skill set. He is really good with getting on the move and getting the ball to his receivers. So Zach Wilson is a great pickup for a team like the New York Jets. Only thing is, I wonder that Zach Wilson has a lot of the same skill set as Sam Darnold, in my opinion, because both quarterbacks can get out, make good plays with their arm. My thing is the New York Jets going to waste his talent like they've done Sam Darnold? So that's what I think is going to be really interesting for tonight to see. Is Zach Wilson's talent going to be wasted in New York, or is he going to be what brings the Jets back into title contention? Number 3, the 49ers. I have Trey Lance right now. But it's like what I said. If Green Bay can pick up that 3rd pick by trading Aaron Rodgers to the 49ers, I have a good feeling that the Green Bay Packers would either pick up Justin Fields or Mac Jones. Or if they don't go quarterback, they get Jamar Chase. So that is something to watch for tonight. Okay? So, number 4 to the Atlanta Falcons, I've got Jamar Chase right now. But if Jamar Chase ends up with the Packers, like I keep saying, then I think Jalen Waddle could go to the Falcons. And I think that would be a really interesting combination with Matt Ryan and Jalen Waddle. And do remember that the Falcons are looking to trade Julio Jones. So that would be really interesting. That'd be really interesting to see. And also, as far as top 10, don't forget that the New Orleans Saints are also looking to trade into the top 10. So if they do trade in the top 10, then I feel like they could go quarterback as well. So that is something to watch for. So, number 5 to the Cincinnati Bengals, I have Jalen Waddle. And, of course, if Jalen Waddle doesn't go to the Bengals, I think it's going to be Penei Sewell. So, it's between those two, in my mind, in Cincinnati. Going number 6 to Miami, I think it's going to be Devonta Smith. Now, he is the Heisman, and I do feel like he has lost like a lot of favor from the media, but also do remember that going number 6 to Miami would mean he would play with his former teammate Tua Tagovailoa in Miami. And remember, Devonta Smith was the one that caught the touchdown against Georgia to win the national championship a couple years ago. So this combination could end up being really good. Everybody knew in college it was lethal. But in the NFL, it could be even better. So, number 7 to the Detroit Lions, and this is my surprising pick. I think Elijah Moore from Ole Miss, he's a wide receiver. I think he's going to go to Detroit. So, that is a shocking move right there. Because he's not, most mock drafts don't have him in the top 10. And I think he's a top 10 receiver. I think going to Detroit would really boost himself. And I think he's a good enough receiver to go number 7. Number 8 to the Carolina Panthers, I've got Justin Fields. And if Justin Fields doesn't go there, it could be Trey Lance. So Carolina, I think they are looking for a quarterback since Teddy Bridgewater was traded to the Broncos. To the Broncos, I got Kyle Pitts at number 9. And so I think Kyle Pitts, even though I think the Broncos already have a couple of tight ends that are pretty good, Kyle Pitts could essentially be moved to a wide receiver because he plays like a wide receiver. He is just built like a tight end. So that's where I think the Denver Broncos, getting him, you could have Kyle Pitts and Jerry Jeudy, and then you got all your tight ends. The Broncos would be really good on offense. And plus you got Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock fighting for that quarterback position. So that's going to be something interesting in Denver. Number 10, the Dallas Cowboys, I feel like are going to pick up Patrick Surtain. So I think that the Cowboys the last couple of years is needing they're needing someone on the receive. I think they need a cornerback that can help them. So I think that he will really help. Patrick Surtain would help the Dallas Cowboys. So that is my mock draft. We have about 10 minutes until the draft officially gets underway. So I am really excited for what is coming up. That was my top 10 of the mock draft. And of course, I'll be here all through the night till about 11 o'clock. So if you have anything in the chat you would like to ask me, go ahead, because I'm really excited to do this. It's my first live stream, as you know. So this is a little different. So I think I do have one person asking, why Devonta Smith to the Miami Dolphins? Well, let me tell you something. I think that the Dolphins, they got a bunch of good receivers, but I feel like Devonta Smith could really put him over the top. And so that is what I think will really be great for the Dolphins, is getting a wide receiver, adding more talent. Aaron Rodgers to Jeopardy. Now, that I feel like could actually happen. I feel like Aaron Rodgers, he said he wants to go to California. Okay, 1, he's from California. But 2, you do realize he was a guest judge guest host on Jeopardy. So I feel like he could end up being the next host of Jeopardy. It's a good possibility. So I'm up for it if it could happen. I'm not exactly sure if he's I don't know if he's the greatest choice right now, but of course that's something to keep in mind. Another thing I want to bring up was Tim Tebow. As you know, he's the former quarterback of the Florida Gators. He ended up winning the Heisman and going on to play for the Denver Broncos and a bunch of other NFL teams. But mainly, the main team he played for was the Denver Broncos. And, of course, his stint in the NFL did not last long. Then, of course, he joined ESPN as an analyst, and then he went and played baseball in the minor leagues. So that's what he's been doing the last couple years. And so I think that he is going to be okay because he worked out for the tight end position at the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I feel like it's interesting in a way because I think Tim Tebow would do really good as a tight end in the NFL. Could he do better than what he did at quarterback? I think so. I really think that he could do better at tight end than he would at quarterback in the National Football League. And some players end up being like that they were good at one position in college, but then they get to the NFL, they're better at a different position. And it happens like that sometimes. And I think that it will be interesting to see. So, that's another thing that I wanted to bring up. And so we have about 6 minutes until the draft officially gets underway. Of course, Jacksonville Jaguars have the first pick in the NFL draft. I am confident they are going Trevor Lawrence. And if they don't go Trevor Lawrence, then I don't know what is going to happen because anything could happen. I'm not lying about that. But I do feel like Trevor Lawrence is the guy right now. And so that is interesting to me. So we will keep that in mind. So you want to know how confident? Well, I would say 99.99999% confident that it's going to be Trevor Lawrence to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that's a big number I put out there. So that's as much as I believe that Trevor Lawrence is going to the Jaguars. I mean, they're already been talking about they're already planning on who's going to be around him as far as wide receivers and everything. So it's going to be interesting in this draft, but Trevor Lawrence is I would say a definite lock to go to the Jaguars. But who knows? Conspiracy could happen, and Trevor Lawrence may not go number one. It's all depending on how it all ends up. So about 4 minutes until the draft comes on officially. And so, of course, I'll be here all night long keeping you updated as we are getting set for an amazing draft. And this is my first live stream, as I've told you a couple times. So please keep in mind that I'm a little new to live streams. So we will get through this and it'll be fun. So, let's see. I think that the New York Jets are a lock for Zach Wilson. Of course, number 3 pick. Don't forget what I said. Number 3 pick is going to be the pick to really watch for something crazy. And that's just how I believe that it's going to end up. We have something really crazy happen at that number 3 pick. Could Aaron Rodgers be dealt? Who knows? It's going to be interesting to see, but I don't think the Packers give up their pick late in the first round. Just, trading the pick and Aaron Rodgers for the number 3 pick. I don't think that's going to happen. So, and of course, this number 3 pick has been traded. I believe it was originally the Houston Texans selection, traded to Miami, and Miami traded it to San Francisco. So, that's where I'm saying, could this number 3 pick end up going to Green Bay? So, that is going to be something to keep an eye on. And that is really about some of our main topics. Don't forget that tomorrow at 5:30, I will kind of get you caught up on what was happening tonight. And, of course, as you see, my little co-host with me, his name is Meowth. So he would really love to co-host some NFL draft coverage with me. So, of course, NFL draft coming up in 2 minutes. So I'm here and standing by. Of course, tomorrow night, I think Colton may join me. But if not, I'll be here again, and you can enjoy my commentary. If you think that I am doing an okay job, okay. But if you really have some differences with me, just put in the chat. I'll be interested to take some questions about why and everything. So that'll be interesting. So Corey says that he's going to be a 110% to have Trevor Lawrence go to the Jaguars. So we got about a minute till the draft officially is open, and we could say that the Jaguars pick is in here in a little while. So, it's been a crazy week getting here and getting ready for this NFL draft. So, stay tuned. We are very hopeful that this is going to end up a really great draft. So, and with all the talent, it's going to end up like we have a bunch of teams. And I think this could end up being one of the craziest drafts we've had in a very, very long time. So keep that in mind. So, and of course, if you see me kind of looking up, I've got my TV where I can keep up with what is going on and give you the latest on how the draft is going. So, it is 7 o'clock Central Time here in Hartselle, Alabama. And I would like to welcome you back to Saber Broadcast Network's coverage of the 2021 NFL Draft. I'm Cooper Naylor, and welcome. I am live from Hartselle, Alabama, and the NFL Draft is live in Cleveland, Ohio this year. So, what a draft and what a night. Trevor Lawrence is projected to go number 1, but will he go number 1? We will see in moments. So stay tuned for that. But quarterbacks are here and ready to go in Cleveland. And I and the rest of my crew here at Saber Broadcast Network are very excited to get this underway here in Hartselle, Alabama. And, of course, the draft, like I keep saying, is in Cleveland, Ohio. So, of course, like I've brought up in the pre-coverage, had some breaking news that was really interesting. And so we will certainly keep our eye on some of these things. And let's just be honest that trades in this first round could be crazy. So I'm really excited. And so we will get to that in a moment. And of course, it is time for the NFL draft. What a night. We are finally here. So, We have we got a great draft coming up. So I think some picks to really watch out for. What could our bottom half of the first round provide us? That's going to be interesting, won't it? Well, I think that we could see, and that's where I think a lot of times the bottom tier of the NFL draft bottom tier of the first round of the NFL draft will really give us some crazy stuff happening. So that is something to keep an eye on as the NFL draft is here. So we are so excited to bring you some coverage of the NFL draft. So, of course, I think another guy really to watch for in this draft could be like Christian Barmore. He's probably going to be at the middle of the first round tonight. He's another guy that would really help a defense, and so that's going to be fun to watch. So we shall see. And so the commissioner will be on the stage in moments to officially open the 2021 NFL Draft. What a great night. And, of course, we are very excited. So, of course, there are a bunch of quarterbacks, a bunch of running backs that are not going to – but when we talk about running backs, we don't have a lot that are really projected to go in the first round. So, could Najee Harris be going in the first round? That's going to be another interesting question as we get closer and closer to seeing the entirety of this draft. So, of course, Trevor Lawrence is probably going to be your number one selection going to Jacksonville. So that'll be interesting. And so it is going to be an interesting draft, none of the doubt. So we will see what happens. So all right. So we are getting closer and closer to that first selection, which we have been waiting eagerly. So well, of course, I just saw in the chat where somebody has said that the Saints could move up. Yes, that is something I am very intrigued about seeing. Where do they move up? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Also, I think that if Aaron Rodgers is not traded tonight, I think that I really have a feeling that the Saints could actually be the team to take that pick. That could be interesting in some ways to see if the Saints could end up taking that pick from the 49ers. And who could the Saints pick up? Well, I feel like they could pick up somebody like, I don't know, Justin Fields or Mac Jones. I think that third pick, I think Trey Lance would go to the 49ers, but if it's not the 49ers picking Trey Lance at number 3, I feel like it's going to be either Justin Fields or Mac Jones, either to the Packers or to the Saints. Of course, it's a little bit new seeing that Drew Brees retired, and course, Aaron Rodgers wanting out of Green Bay. That's going to be something really interesting. So we'll keep our eye on this whole entire draft. So, y'all can always chat and give me some more info on like if whatever y'all want me to discuss. Of course, I'm willing to listen and see what you have to say. So, is there any kind of do y'all have any kind of interesting trade ups or moves that would really be interesting for this NFL draft? That would be something you could put in the chat if you wanted. Of course, I've done my mock draft a couple times, not much though. Of course, it's kind of always been a little bit the same, except I don't think I've had Elijah Moore up there as high as I did a while ago. Of course, I said that he was going to go number 7 to the Detroit Lions, which we will see if that does happen. But of course, we'll just keep our eyes open and see what happens in this draft. So now, before we get back, another person has said the Falcons could get either Kyle Pitts or Zach Wilson. That would, honestly, I think it could happen, but for the Falcons to get Zach Wilson, and this is just how I think they're going to have to do this. Falcons would have to trade up to number 2 because I feel like if they want Zach Wilson so bad, they're not going to be able to wait for number 4. Now, Kyle Pitts, I feel like he could be drafted at number 4, and that could happen. But I still think that Jamar Chase is probably your best bet to go to Atlanta if you don't see Green Bay or New Orleans trade up for that number 3 pick. And so it'll all kind of move itself, but the Falcons are a really interesting story right now. So we will keep our eyes on that. We have been live for about 28 minutes now. Thank you for watching this. We will be streaming all throughout the night, so don't forget that. Of course, we have a big draft coming up live from Cleveland, and I'm here in Hartselle, Alabama, here in my studio, which I am very happy to say that it is very comfortable, and I've got a great setup right now. Of course, tomorrow night, Colton may join me. Colton may join me for night 2 of the draft, so that will be something to watch for. And so, be interesting to see the whole draft wind itself out. 7:10 is our time right now. As in Cleveland right now, we watch Kings of Leon give a performance. I haven't heard any of their songs before, so I don't know exactly what they are. So I was just kind of letting you know what's going on in Cleveland at the moment. So I think it's going to be interesting, this NFL draft. Of course, personally, this is just me personally speaking, but I don't think the NFL's gotten a great musical performance in a long time. Maybe ever, but that'd be hard to say. So, comment in the chat. What was your favorite performance as far as NFL's, like the Super Bowl or NFL draft or anything? Just put in the chat what you think would be interesting. As right now, Roger Goodell is making his way to the stage as he is going to officially open the NFL draft. So he is standing right there. What a great night. Finally, we have an NFL draft back in person for the first time since the 2019 NFL draft. Of course, 2020 NFL draft was virtual due to COVID. Of course, that was last year. You saw Joe Burrow go number 1 to the Cincinnati Bengals, who are at number 5 tonight. That pick is going to be interesting, of course. One person said The Weeknd is the best and Lady Gaga was terrible. Well, personally speaking, both of them were not good in my opinion. So, okay. And another person saw the couch that was on screen. So they wanted to make sure that you knew that about the couch. So, and I will say, that couch looked pretty comfortable. So, for any of you watching a different coverage while watching me at the same time, you can keep up with that. I personally have been really interested watching it so far. And I believe that's Joe Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and I'm not exactly sure who the other guy was, but I'm pretty sure all three of them played at or is at the Cleveland Browns at this current time. And right there standing on the stage with the commissioner of the National Football League, Roger Goodell, as he opens the 2021 NFL Draft. Of course, as you see, I got my little co-host again, who is doing a great job. So, Jacksonville Jaguars, I believe they are officially on the clock. So, of course, you can chat with me with what you think is going to happen with this pick. And all night long, every pick that we get to, you can say what is, like, you can put your little opinion, like, who do you think is going to go there? And then I'll answer and I'll see what I think. But what a night we are going to have here on the Saber Broadcast Network, bringing you the NFL Draft. Of course, the next couple of years, I'll be bringing you the NFL Draft. So, what a night it'll be. So, of course, Jacksonville is projected to get Trevor Lawrence from Clemson. Of course, Trevor Lawrence he had only, like, I believe it was 2 losses in his career at Clemson. Of course, this last year was shortened due to COVID. But Trevor Lawrence only losing 2 games. I believe it was a national championship game against LSU, which Joe Burrow played against Trevor Lawrence in the national championship game. And then, of course, we had Trevor Lawrence going down to Justin Fields and the Ohio State Buckeyes this past year in the college football playoff. Jaguars are officially on the clock with 9 minutes and 20 seconds to select. And we all probably know where they're going, Trevor Lawrence. So, of course, that'll be interesting to see. So, can the Jaguars get the quarterback right this time? Now, a couple years ago, and like the last couple of years, a couple of teams have gotten the quarterback right, but a couple haven't. So, I think, can Jacksonville pick their pick a quarterback that will really help them in the long run. And I think Trevor Lawrence would be the perfect player for Jaguars. Of course, Urban Meyer's now the coach there. So with Urban Meyer being there, I think that his system really fits Trevor Lawrence very well. And I think Trevor Lawrence would fit the system really well in Jacksonville. So it'll be interesting. So, of course, if you have anything you would like to add, there's the chat. So, of course, we have 7 minutes and 45 seconds before the Jaguars are officially off the clock. Of course, the pick will be in probably a couple of minutes. So we will see. So well, Trevor Lawrence is probably going to be picked by the Jaguars in about 6 minutes and 40 seconds. So, of course, as you can see, it's really a no-brainer at this point of kind of trying to keep up, like trying to find stuff to bring up as we speak, because it's quite clear that Trevor Lawrence is going to go to the Jaguars right now. And so we shall see in the next 6 minutes. So, and of course, as you know, there's always, in the first round of the NFL draft, there's always 10 minutes in between each pick. And I believe that once you get to the second and third rounds, which is going to be tomorrow night, it is only 5 minutes in between picks. And then I believe Saturday afternoon, when you have rounds 4 through 7, that will be, I believe it's down to like 2 or 3 minutes you have in between picks. So it's a little bit prolonged during the first night of the draft. But then once you get to Saturday, it's they speed it up a little bit more, but at the same time, it's a slow process. So we will see what the Jaguars do with this pick. They have about 5 minutes to make it. So we will see who Jacksonville goes out and gets tonight. So it's most likely Trevor Lawrence. Could Zach Wilson or Mac Jones, Justin Fields, or Trey Lance end up in Jacksonville? Certainly they could. But most likely is going to be Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. So that's going to be a very interesting pick. Got about 4 minutes and 20 seconds until the pick. They'll have to make their selection. So, of course, Clemson was very lucky to have a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. Of course, lead them to a national championship, beating Tua Tagovailoa, and Alabama beating them down 44-16. So that was a brutal game for the Tide. But for Clemson, it netted another national championship. And Dabo Swinney could be argued as one of the greatest coaches Clemson's had ever. So, of course, Trevor Lawrence is probably your number one pick right now. And of course, the waiting is suspenseful. 3 minutes and 20 seconds before the Jaguars have to make their selection. Where will they go? We have about 3 minutes. Jacksonville still trying to make their selection. And comment if you believe if there's actually a discussion right now between getting Trevor Lawrence or getting one of these other top quarterbacks. Please put in the chat if you believe there's been that conversation. Of course, personally, I don't believe that would make sense, but it is the NFL. I do feel like they may just be prolonging this just to be doing it. And of course, it is very suspenseful. It is 7:23 Central Time as we await the selection from the Jaguars. Of course, up next, as my coverage watching the NFL draft, I see they are showing inside the war room for the Jacksonville Jaguars as they look like as if they have selected. The clock is still rolling, and it hasn't said they have made a selection yet. But it looks like Jacksonville may. Yes, the pick is officially in. Roger Goodell will get to the podium in minutes. Of course, I believe that we know who they have selected. Of course, it really hasn't been a conversation for a while now. But, of course, the third pick through the rest of tonight is going to be really interesting to talk about who could go where. Of course, I will continue to bring you the action from Cleveland as we await the Jaguar selection. Roger Goodell will be coming up to the podium shortly. So, a lot of suspense. Now, I do want to take this time while we have a moment in between awaiting the selection and getting to Roger Goodell, or I believe they may be going to the podium now. So, I'll wait and give you that announcement right after this. Yes, Roger Goodell is making his way to the podium to bring us the news. Who has the Jaguars selected? Of course, this is a great night. And one thing I didn't say a minute ago when Roger Goodell first came up was that they had invited a lady to go up to the podium and sit in that couch. So she, I believe, is going to make this selection. Maybe? No. And it's of course Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson. So no shocker there. Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 overall pick, going to Jacksonville. What a pick. And of course, that's going to be very interesting to see him and Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. Can they have success the first year? Who knows? Maybe. But also at the same time, he's going to be a rookie quarterback, so let's give him some time. Of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars will get to select again at 25 later tonight. Now, the Jets have 7 minutes coming up, and we probably know who they are going with right now. But as we all know, the Jets of all teams the Jets always seem to give us a little bit of a shocker here and there. So we will see. They got about 6 minutes and 40 seconds before they have to make their selection. Of course, Trevor Lawrence, a no-brainer, number 1 pick coming from Clemson, of course, winning the ACC championship game every single year in his 3 years at Clemson. Of course, the ACC never gave Clemson much of a challenge at that point in time. So a no-brainer and a great selection for the Jaguars getting Trevor Lawrence. And so we turn our attention to the New York Jets as they are now on the clock, 6 minutes before they have to select. Now, where could they be going? I think there's more speculation about who could they be getting. Now, we've been hearing that Zach Wilson is your biggest candidate to go to the Jets right now. And I personally think Trey Lance is in that conversation. Mac Jones has to be there. Of course, Justin Fields in this conversation about where the Jets go at quarterback. Most likely they go and get Zach Wilson. But remember, the number 3 pick is where all of this madness is going to happen. So we shall see. About 5 minutes, 15 seconds until the pick will have to be in for the Jets. So what a great selection. Trevor Lawrence will have a great career. And he's going to start his career playing for a legend of a coach, Urban Meyer. And Urban Meyer is going to try to do something that not a lot of coaches have done, to have success in college football and then go to the NFL and have much more success. So that's going to be something to watch for. And here's something. At some point while Urban Meyer's coaching the Jaguars, could he end up winning a Super Bowl? Now, he would only be the second head coach to ever do that. The only other coach, I believe I believe it was Jimmy Johnson, and I'm not exactly sure who else, but Jimmy Johnson's the one that comes to my mind right now that won a college football national championship back in the day, went to the NFL, won a couple Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys. So that is something that's going to be interesting to see. Can Urban Meyer match the success of Jimmy Johnson? Who knows? Maybe he can. And of course, New York Jets possibly going after there's a couple of different guys they've been talking about. Zach Wilson. If not Zach Wilson, of course, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Justin Fields. Of course, as I keep repeating. And so Trevor Lawrence off the board. So breaking news right now. And I'll get back to this to the draft in just a second. But the Pittsburgh Steelers have re-signed Mason Rudolph. Let me say that again. Pittsburgh Steelers have re-signed Mason Rudolph. So that's going to be another speculation. Is he the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Or are they going to try to get another quarterback? But the Jets pick is in, and of course that's a 1-year extension for Mason Rudolph. But the Jets pick is in. I think we all know where they're going with this, but we shall see as Zach Wilson awaits. Is this where he's going to go? To the New York Jets? We are going to see as we await Roger Goodell to go up to this podium again. What a night. First two picks are already in. One has been announced, Trevor Lawrence, and the other we are still waiting to get the official word on who they have selected. So, of course, San Francisco's at number 3, but we will have to wait and see if we do get a trade, if the Packers try to trade up, or if the Saints try to trade up. There's a lot of interesting scenarios, but we will see. The New York Jets have selected Atlanta's at number 4. Atlanta's been talking about trading their pick, but right now, I feel like it's going to be a very interesting dilemma as Roger Goodell is making his way to the podium. And so we shall see. What a night. I mean, they are bringing fans of the teams up and sitting on this couch. So that is very interesting as he is making the announcement for the New York Jets. The New York Jets have selected Zach Wilson, quarterback from BYU. So that's a no-brainer right there. Of course, like I said, anything could have happened, but they went out and got Zach Wilson, the best possible solution to the problem in New York. Of course, that's going to be fun to watch. Zach Wilson throwing the football in New York. That's going to be fun to watch. The San Francisco 49ers are on the clock. They have about 7 minutes and 10 seconds to make their selection. So we shall see as Zach Wilson gets a photo with the commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell. Very neat moment for him. The NFL draft, live here on Saber Broadcast Network. Cooper Naylor here with you. I will be bringing you more coverage later in the draft. Of course, tomorrow night I'll be back to give you rounds 2 and 3. Saturday is to be determined if we are going to, here at Saber Broadcast Network, we will decide if we are going to go ahead and show the third day of the draft. So we are excited right now. Zach Wilson, second overall pick. Now the 49ers are on the clock. Now, there has been speculation about Mac Jones going to the 49ers. Of course, Trey Lance. Others, of course, include Justin Fields. But right now, I believe that Trey Lance would give the best possible fit in San Francisco. Now, is that who they're going to draft? I think they're possibly going to draft Mac Jones from Alabama. Of course, the 49ers system is a lot of a system where you run the ball a lot of times. Of course, they would like to have a quarterback that's not injured all the time, so that'll be something to watch for. Can they have a healthy quarterback? And, of course, this will be a very interesting draft. Of course, Jimmy Garoppolo will be an interesting topic, too. Where is he going to end up? So, and if the San Francisco 49ers don't pick a quarterback, how are they going to fix their problem? So, it's pretty obvious they're probably going to get a quarterback. If they don't, though, I wonder where they would be going with this. So, of course, Jimmy G, best possible fit at this point would possibly be New England for Jimmy G. So, that'll be something to watch for. As the 49ers have about 4 minutes and 25 seconds before they have to select. So we will see. Of course, number 4 pick is Atlanta's at the moment. Number 5 is going to the Bengals at the moment. Of course, anything could change at any moment, so we will see. As we have a great night ahead of you. As we've been here for almost an hour now, and we will bring you more coverage as it comes. Of course, we'll be here all night long, so you won't miss a moment here at Saber Broadcast Network. We are very excited that we've been able to cover this. Of course, the 49ers are still on the clock. It's going to be interesting to see where they go. So I got about 3 minutes and 15 seconds before their selection will be in. So, what a night. As right now, we still await the 49ers selection. So, is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Trey Lance? Is it going to be Justin Fields? We will see here in the next couple of minutes. Of course, this has already begun. The draft has already begun. Great draft so far. 2 quarterbacks off the board already. We've had Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. Trevor Lawrence going to the Jaguars. Zach Wilson to the Jets. So it'll be fun to watch. Of course, I am keeping an eye right here on this draft, as we have about 1 minute and 45 seconds before the 49ers select. So if they did not, well, the pick is in right now. So if they haven't picked a quarterback, I believe that they would still be on the offensive side. I feel like maybe they would go out and get maybe just a little bit of help for that offensive line and get Penei Sewell. That would be a very interesting selection for San Francisco, but at the same time, I feel like it could end up being a smart decision, because if you keep Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's going to need some help. He's getting hurt way too much. So if you got him some help and got a offensive lineman, that'll be a very interesting thing. So Penei Sewell would be a great pick here for the Niners, but I am pretty confident that they've gone quarterback, and I'm pretty confident they're going to go either Trey Lance or Mac Jones. That is my feeling right now. So we will see. I do feel like Justin Fields is going to slip a little further down the board. So, of course, there's a bunch to keep up with as the Niners are awaiting their pick to be announced. Roger Goodell will come up to the podium, and he is now announcing the selection. The 49ers have selected Trey Lance. So, let me tell you, Trey Lance, he is the perfect pick right now for the San Francisco 49ers. He fits their system perfectly. Of course, a lot of people have been saying Mac Jones would fit really well. Well, let me tell you something. This guy, Trey Lance, fits a whole lot better than Mac Jones in San Francisco. One, because this team is a run-centric team in San Francisco. And two, Trey Lance would really be the perfect decision right here. And that's what they went out and did. They got Trey Lance, and that was the perfect move. And for you people keeping up, I am 3 for 3 right now on my selection. So, right now, I am getting a little worried because I have Ja'Marr Chase, I believe, going to the Atlanta Falcons. So, if Ja'Marr Chase is not selected there, then I will be out on my top 10, of course. I've never had a top 10 become perfect. So, of course, there's a little hope that I have. So the Atlanta Falcons have about 6 minutes and 35 seconds before they have to select. Now, right now, I think Ja'Marr Chase would be a great fit in Atlanta, especially with the rumors of Julio Jones being traded to make some space. So I really do feel like Ja'Marr Chase would be the perfect replacement for Julio Jones. Of course, you already have Calvin Ridley there in Atlanta. So if you're going to replace Julio Jones, why don't you get a receiver right now in the draft? And that would be Ja'Marr Chase. So that is who I think they're going to get. And of course, San Francisco 49ers just made a great selection with Trey Lance. And Trey Lance hasn't played all that much in his career, so it'll be interesting to watch him. He was the perfect pick, I think. But the Atlanta Falcons are on the clock right now, 5 minutes and 30 seconds before their selection will come in. Of course, I believe that it's going to be I think it's going to be Ja'Marr Chase, but of course, may not. So we will see. Of course, 5 minutes, 15 seconds before their selection will come in. So we shall see. Of course, Trey Lance won the FCS National Championship in the 2019 season. He was the first freshman to win the Walter Payton Award. And so that's just two of the many accomplishments that he's had. So that's great for him. So, of course, in the chat, 14 games is all he's played. Yeah, that there may be a little bit. I mean, he looks like he's going to be good, but is it going to be is he going to have experience, or is he going to have to wait? So that's going to be something to watch for. We've got about 4 minutes before the Falcons pick will be in. So, we shall see who the Falcons select in this first round. So, of course, does not look like Atlanta will trade the pick. They're going to make their selection. Of course, we're waiting to see when the pick will be official. 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining before the pick will be in tonight here on Saber Broadcast Network. Of course, Trey Lance was a perfect pick for the 49ers, and right now I have a great feeling about Ja'Marr Chase going to Atlanta. And if not Ja'Marr Chase, Kyle Pitts is up there. Mac Jones could be considered because of Matt Ryan, his age, and of course, also don't forget that Justin Fields could be a pick here too, because Justin Fields is from Georgia, and if the pick is in, we will get to Roger Goodell in a minute to bring us the selection, but this has been a very fun NFL draft to this point. We are almost an hour into the beginning of the NFL draft. Of course, I brought you pre-coverage right before 7 o'clock. And of course, once 7 o'clock hit, we got our official start to the NFL draft. Of course, you can join us tomorrow here on the Saber Broadcast Network at 5:30. And I will bring you some pre-coverage, get you up to date on all you need to know about the first round, and get you set for the next 2 rounds of the NFL draft tomorrow, 5:30, here on Saber Broadcast Network. So, the Falcons pick is in. They look very pleased. So, we will shortly see who they have selected. So, Roger Goodell making his way out to the podium. Let us see who the Falcons have selected. Roger Goodell. And here is the selection. Roger Goodell. And the Falcons they have selected Kyle Pitts. So, as you heard me a minute ago, I have been beaten in my picks. I said Jamar Chase would go to Atlanta. Ending up, Kyle Pitts has now ended up in Atlanta. Great pick either way. Kyle Pitts will certainly help this Falcons team. Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock, 7 minutes, 25 seconds, and now they're most likely to get Jamar Chase. Right now, of course, he didn't play last year due to COVID and all that had been going on. So, Kyle Pitts, great pick for Atlanta. He will fit their system really good. They needed a tight end, and they got one. There they go. Got them some offense. And now the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. Who are they going to pick? 6 minutes, 45 seconds. Jamar Chase, most likely. He was great in their championship season at LSU, played with Joe Burrow. And, of course, it'll be interesting to see him reunite. If Jamar Chase is selected to the Bengals, it'll be nice to see him reunited with Joe Burrow. Of course, Joe Burrow was having a great season last year, but then he had the ACL injury, and it all went down for him. So, of course, after the 8th pick, we will take a short break, and I'll be back after the 8th pick. Every 8 picks tonight, I'll take a little bit of a break, and then I'll come back and announce to you what the 9th pick is, and then what the 17th, and then the 25th, and of course, that will be the end of the night. So, of course, we will see. 5th pick is up right now. 5 minutes and 30 seconds before the Bengals will have to make their selection. Kyle Pitts had a chance to go to the college football playoff course. Their chances were denied by Alabama in that SEC championship game, and by far giving the Tide its most difficult competition of the season. Of course, Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts together were the main reason for that. Of course, Kadarius Toney, he's another guy to watch out for in this first round from Florida. And quite frankly, I'm a little shocked. I mean, Mac Jones and Kyle Trask are a lot alike in the way that they play. So I'm a little shocked that Kyle Trask is not projected to go in the first round. And I think that later tonight here in the first round, I feel like the Washington football team would be interesting for Kyle Trask. So we will certainly see. So Mac Jones is going to have to wait his turn. We will see where Mac Jones ends up. 4 minutes before the Bengals make their selection. So actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break. I'll be right back to give you the selection for the Bengals and then bring you up to date on what I think the Dolphins are going to do. So I'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Cooper Naylor here in Hartselle, Alabama, and you are watching the 2021 NFL Draft. And tonight, I wanted to go ahead and announce that we, here at Saber Broadcast Network, are going to show on Friday, September 10th, 2021, a film by yours truly, and it is going to be a Western, so enjoy that. It'll be called The Shortest Marksman in the West. Of course, as you saw, I announced it not too long ago, and the pick is in for the Cincinnati Bengals. So, of course, you'll have to. I'll be coming out with more about that later. So, don't forget. Don't forget to come back. So, the Bengals are probably getting Jamar Chase, but could they be going Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith? Who knows? But most likely Jamar Chase. Let's see where the Bengals have gone. As Roger Goodell is going up to the podium, we will see right now where they are going. As Goodell makes his way. Now the Bengals are selecting Goodell. And the Bengals have selected Jamar Chase. So, of course, my mock draft was not all correct. And let's just be honest, no shocker here. Jamar Chase being reunited with his quarterback Joe Burrow after 1 year of sitting out. Now he gets to go play with Joe Burrow once again. And the Miami Dolphins are now on the clock. Now, where could the Dolphins be going? I believe they may be getting Devonta Smith. Who knows? But also, they could be getting Jalen Waddle. We will see who the Dolphins go after. But, of course, Jamar Chase, he had a great season. Of course, Jamar Chase, one great season playing with his quarterback, Joe Burrow. Of course, Joe Burrow had a season like none other. And let's be honest, the 2019 college football season was amazing. Of course, watching LSU dominate. I mean, after a couple of games, after watching Alabama and LSU face off, there was almost no doubt that LSU was going to make the national championship game. So, of course, the Dolphins are on the clock. Where could the Dolphins be going with this pick? And another speculation, is the Saints close to making a deal to get into the first round? Not the first round, but the top 10 at this point. You're at pick 6. You got a chance. And the selection is in for the Dolphins. We will have to wait and see. But I have a great confidence that it's one of the two receivers, either Jalen Waddle or Devonta Smith from Alabama, who played with Tua Tagovailoa a couple years ago. So, and if you remember, Tua, he was dominant, but could you really... Okay, so as a college football fan, and just hear me out, do you think that Tua could have beat Kyler Murray? And I believe that Tua was the better quarterback. But let me tell you why it didn't happen that way. It's because Tua had injury concerns. That is why he did not win the Heisman. So that is something to remember. And I never forget it because I am an Alabama fan, as you can see here. So, we will see. Devonta Smith, he is not the guy I thought was going to win the Heisman. Even going into that day, I was full on Mac Jones or Kyle Trask. But then when I heard Devonta Smith, it made sense. He was the most deserving of winning the Heisman, and he did. So, great for Devonta Smith, and is he going off the board here for the Dolphins? We are still awaiting to see. Of course, it has been a fun night to this point. 5 picks in, and got about 27 to be announced later tonight. We'll be here all night, so buckle up. We are just beginning our coverage, and we are an hour and 20 minutes past. What a day for the NFL. And, of course, college football fans, they love this day as well because they get to see where their favorite players from college get to go play professionally. So, and even if you don't watch professional football and you're a big, huge college football fan, this is a big deal. So, we're going to see, of course, Dolphins. We're waiting to see who they have picked. And right now, I believe Devonta Smith may be the guy, but we will see. Because we also know that they could be going with an offensive lineman, like a Penei Sewell. They could be going for some defense. Anything's possible right at this moment, so we will see. The pick is in as we wait for Roger Goodell to get to the stage. Of course, the enthusiasm, the suspense of waiting for the Dolphins pick is incredible. So we will see. Of course, as I've told you, tomorrow we'll be back at 5:30, bringing more coverage. So here we go. We're getting to go see who the Dolphins have picked. So Roger Goodell up to the podium. And the Dolphins will select Jalen Waddle from Alabama. Now, not Devonta Smith, but let me tell you, I believe that Jalen Waddle is a better receiver than Devonta Smith. Rightfully so. Devonta Smith, he did win the Heisman, but if Jalen Waddle kept playing, Jalen Waddle could have won the Heisman. Or you could have saw Mac Jones win the Heisman. One of those 3 guys from Alabama would have won. And so Dolphins did not receive Devonta Smith, but they got Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle, that's a great selection. And so we will continue to see. And so the Lions are coming up next with their selection. Jalen Waddle is now going to reunite with his former teammate Tua Tagovailoa. What a great pairing, as the Lions pick is already in. They already know who they want. So I wonder, and this is just speculation, but could it have been that the Lions were either going to go get Jalen Waddle or Devonta Smith, and then now that Jalen Waddle is off the board, could Devonta Smith be going to the Detroit Lions? And let's just be honest, if he goes there, he would help Jared Goff a whole lot. So we will see. Of course, we are awaiting. But Jalen Waddle, that is a great pick for the Miami Dolphins. Great pick. So we will see. Lions on the clock. They have selected, but we are waiting for Goodell to get to that pick. Maybe a minute with how quick it came in. So, of course, another guy that could be considered is Penei Sewell. course, they may be looking at Justin Fields to compete with Jared Goff. There's a lot of speculation to who is going to be picked right here for Detroit. But let's be honest, Detroit is in a position where they need almost every position to be filled. And it'll be an interesting dilemma. So the Lions await here who they have selected. It is 8:07 p.m. here in Hartsville, Alabama. And the Detroit Lions are on the clock. They have selected. They are waiting, of course. So the draft is live in Cleveland, Ohio. We will be coming back tomorrow, as I keep reminding you. Of course, tomorrow is going to be an interesting night. It'll be a faster paced night, of course, than this is tonight. But of course, it's going to be fun to see. And but Jalen Waddle, the absolute perfect fit for the Dolphins, especially getting to reunite with his former teammate Tua Tagovailoa. A great pick. Yeah. Yeah, well, I understand you said that the Alabama receiver that was selected to Miami was the wrong one, but at the same time, you may not regret it. You may be happy later because Jalen Waddle clearly is the better receiver from Alabama with the speed. He is the fastest receiver you've ever seen, and his hands are incredible. And he, quite frankly, has done a whole lot more, I believe, than – well, I mean, okay. Devonta Smith did win the Heisman, but I do feel like Jalen Waddle brings more to the table right now. And let's be honest, the best players that are in the draft don't always win the Heisman that previous season. So I think Jalen Waddle is a great pick for the Miami Dolphins. So, of course, getting to play with Tua again is going to be great for Jalen Waddle. They know each other, and that's going to be a great combination. So, of course, could the Lions be going after a quarterback right now? We don't know. But most likely they're going after a receiver. They lost Kenny Golladay. So, most likely going to get a receiver to replace Kenny Golladay. So, we will see in a moment. What a night. After the 10th pick, I will take a little bit of a break. That will be the Dallas Cowboys selection. So I will, of course, take a little bit of a break. So here's Roger Goodell. And the Detroit Lions have selected Penei Sewell. Now, that is a good pick, especially with the fact that you just got Jared Goff, who is an injury-prone quarterback. And honestly, Penei Sewell will be a great pick in the long run for the Lions. He will be able to play for them for a long time. And now the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. But now the Lions have an offensive tackle that is going to be incredible in the long run. So we will see. Penei Sewell, selected by the Detroit Lions. Of course, Penei Sewell, incredible talent, incredibly athletic for a offensive tackle. So that's something to watch for. He played with Justin Herbert at Oregon. So that's something to note. So it'll be interesting to watch Penei Sewell guard his quarterback now, Jared Goff. So Detroit. Now, if you heard me earlier today, well, I was talking and I have come to a conclusion that the Detroit Lions, even whatever they do in this draft today, the Detroit Lions are going to be the NFL's worst team this season. Just because of all that they've lost. And quite frankly, I don't think they will be able to regain from that. So Detroit, great landing destination for Penei Sewell right now. He can really build into a great player. Of course, Dan Campbell is the coach there. And yeah, I'm wondering that too about the trades. So we will see. I'm very confident that New Orleans could possibly trade up here in a moment to get to get Denver's or Dallas's pick. So we will see. This has been a very interesting draft to this point. But the Panthers pick will be coming in just a moment. We have about 1:20 before the selection comes in. We will see. So about a minute before the Panthers select. So Panthers using as much clock as possible to make their decision. Most likely, I feel like they're going to go Justin Fields here. But they may not. Who knows? So, I'll be right back. I will take a break and come back. All right, welcome back to the draft. The Panthers pick is in right now as we sit here and wait. Of course, national television is at commercial at this moment. And so that's what we are waiting on to watch for Roger Goodell to go up to this podium. But tonight, I think I'm going to cut this short. I'll be back tomorrow to give you more coverage of the NFL draft. So Colton may join me. If not, I'll be doing it alone again. But thank you for watching this, and I will see you tomorrow.